Hey guys, welcome to Black United. Welcome to another video. And right now is time to talk about La Masia, about the Youth Academy, and what's to come. What needs to happen in order for the youth players to succeed, in order to give them opportunities to understand what's happening right now and what is to come in the future if we keep doing the things that we are currently doing with the youth players. And we need to start by discussing the game against Real Betis, and Ansu Fati very oddly decided to give a start to Carles Perez. I honestly thought that he was going to put Sergio Roberto in the forward line like he has done previously, and maybe it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. And that he also made Ansu Fati a debutant with 16 years of age. It was very promising to see for the players. You always like to see youngsters being given a chance. He becomes the player with this, like the second youngest debutant for Barcelona, and it was very promising. It was very interesting to see, and I think that there is a lot to come from the player. But I want to say right now that saying that he's going to be a really big star and that he looks amazing or world class or comparing him to other players doesn't help the player. If anything, it only makes the player more more anxious, because they have all this pressure on their hands to get to something that they are not even at the moment, and it doesn't help them in any case, shape or form. And I also wanted to discuss about the thing of giving these players opportunities, because it's not good enough for me that Ansu Fati is making every single player in La Masia debut. Like, that's fine. I'm glad that you're giving him debuts, but more than debuts, I want to see the players. I want to see the players with continuity throughout the season, not just in like 3 to 4 games and they don't get to play anymore. I want to see them with some opportunities, not big opportunities. I'm not telling you to play them in Champions League semifinals, but I'm telling you to give them opportunities in situations where we need to give them opportunities. For example, it is very hard to me to be very anxious about someone debuting and maybe being given a chance a little bit during the team, because I see Riqui Puig in Segunda B, in the 3rd tier of Spanish football, and I see him playing there when he should be obviously promoted to the first team, or should be playing in Primera División. And it is very difficult to see that, because Riqui Puig is a player that, in my opinion, and I have to repeat, this is my opinion, but I believe that Riqui Puig, although I'm not saying that he should start, has very similar qualities to those of Frankie de Jong and Arthur Melo, and could be at a similar level. I don't know, because I've been able to see enough of it. I know that he has a lot of talent and he's perfectly capable in the first team, that's for sure, to at least contributing something. And it's more worth to him to train with the first team train with the first team every day and play a few games of season than training with the Barça B and playing in Segunda B, because it's a different kind of football. Like, that is more physical. They hit you a lot. Like, I've seen Riqui Puig take some big hits because it's not the proper football. Like, Barcelona B are not able to play. It's very different how they play in Segunda B to how they play in Primera. I'm not saying that they're good enough to play in Primera, but it's a different kind of football because that's more physical. Other players are more rash with their tackles, and referees are, more okay with tackles being given like that. And it obviously hurts the way that the players play. It's also now getting out this policy of not only Valverde, because this is not something that I give Valverde the only, like, this is not something that I blame only on Valverde, because I know that Valverde doesn't take most of the decisions of the club. Yes, he decided to bring in a center back and a forward, and that is something that I fully criminalize Valverde about, because Kevin Prince Boateng wasn't and Jason Murillo weren't the options that I would have taken if we really needed cover at center back and a forward. As forwards, I think Carles Perez and Abel Ruiz were more than good enough, and at center back, Chumi and Cuenca already show that we had more than enough going forward for us. That at least for an emergency, because that's really what we needed. We needed an emergency cover, because we had Lenglet, we had Piqué, we had Todibo, and we had Thomas Vermaelen. That Vermaelen, Samuel Umtiti having injury concerns. Okay, that Todibo was very young. You have Chumi and Cuenca, who for an emergency, because you really needed them for an emergency. They're more than fine. Same thing with Abel Ruiz and Carles Perez. That you have Dembélé, Coutinho, Messi and Suarez. You need an emergency forward, and you get two of them. But you decide to not give them opportunities, and then we saw how many minutes Jason Murillo and Kevin Prince Boateng got last season, which wasn't many. So, also it's important to discuss the topic of I don't give full responsibility to Valverde that he doesn't give opportunities to youngsters, because he said it before. He's been asked this question before, and I'm very aware that it's not him who takes the main important decisions in the squad. Like he said it before. He's asked about Ricky Puig. Is he gonna be promoted to the first team? Are you planning to promote him to the first team? He's like, oh well, it's not my decision. I don't take those decisions. Oh, he's asked about Neymar. I'm here to coach what they bring me. When coaches are saying something like that, it's clear to me that they don't have power in the squad. That they're just one more in the dressing room. That they don't take any major decisions, or barely take any major decisions in the dressing room. Like, I'm pretty sure that Valverde doesn't really give the lineups, or very rarely gives the lineups. Like, he has chosen to give player power, which is a horrible idea. But in this sense, for the youth players, he's decided up to go with the most important players to the dressing room, and that the board want to bring as many players as possible, because they have a philosophy of you have to have 22 world-class players in your squad, which is a complete lie. They haven't given a space basically for any young talented players to be given a chance. Because I'm not telling you that they're like Ansu Fati and Carles Perez. I'm not telling you that they're gonna be world-class players. I mean, I think Ricky Puig can be a world-class player. I see the signs fit, but at least they're good enough players to make your bench. And every team needs players that are good enough for the bench to start some games this season, and that can come from the bench and give you a different kind of impact, or give you continuity to what you're trying to do in the pitch. You always need players like that, and you need to be able to give players an opportunity, because when you bring so many players in, you're limiting yourself to give other players a chance. Like, you can, if you have 9 central midfielders, obviously there's no space for Ricky Puig in the squad, because you haven't made the squad in order to be able to give players a chance. At fullbacks, we had Sergi Palencia, Marco Corella, and Juan Miranda. At right back, Sergi Palencia maybe could be a good player for Barcelona. I don't know, because you haven't tried it out. Yes, you brought Moussa Wagué, but you're trusting someone from abroad instead of giving a youngster an opportunity. That he's not good enough, you go ahead and buy Moussa Wagué. You go right ahead. That you brought Junior Firpo, who is a very good left back. I think he looks really good. He has to improve defensively, but in overall he looks very decent. But I haven't seen Juan Miranda or Cucurella, who I'm very certain, especially with Cucurella, that they would have been completely fine for that backup spot. that they're not good enough, you go ahead and sign a player. But you really need to start giving these players a chance when they really need to, because otherwise you're not giving them opportunities. They're not finding a spot. All these people saying that we should sign Neymar because Messi, Suarez, and Neymar and Dembele are injured. Well, what can I say? Like, if you're expecting 3 players to get injured at the same time, then I don't know what to tell you. Because if you are expecting that, then let's go ahead and sign every forward from every team, because they could all get injured. Possibilities, every possibility exists. That one thing is more probable than another. That probability is a different thing. It's just different. Like, the normal thing is that 1, maybe 2 at most, that's the normal case, get injured. And for that you have other 2 forwards, which would be, I don't know, they would be 2 forwards, and then you have to like choose one from La Masia in an emergency for the most part. Well, if last season is to show, like, we know that for likelihood of injuries, we're gonna be able to count with Messi, with Griezmann, and with Suarez. Because if Dembele gets injured, if someone else gets injured, well, I don't know. We have Dembele, you have Suarez, Griezmann, Messi. It's a long season. During January, which we know is a complicated month for us, Abel Ruiz and Carles Perez get to play maybe a lot in the Copa del Rey, things like that. What you don't do is start bringing in every player in every single position, and you don't start making spaces for players that should be already made space for, that you know are about to come through and could be very promising for Barcelona. For example, if you're bringing Neymar, you're selling Ansu Fati that he doesn't stand a chance in this team, because Griezmann, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, and Dembele are 5 players, which maybe even if Suarez leaves, those are still 4 players that Ansu Fati has to get ahead of in 1 or 2 years. He won't get ahead in the hierarchy above those players, so you're not basically giving them a chance to explore into the first team. Carles Perez is a player that, if you really trust in La Masia, he would progressively get some minutes this season. And I'm saying only Abel Ruiz, only Carles Perez, that's fine. Abel Ruiz is another one that should be given opportunities, but if you plan this season to give Carles Perez for 6 months a number of continuity, like giving him to play maybe 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, while he's playing in Segunda B, maybe give him a start when we have Champions League a few days before, that's fine. And see if he's good enough. I think that he looks very interesting, but I don't know if he's good enough. I know that he has good pace, that his left foot is really good, that his dribbling is quite alright. Decision making has to improve, but he overall is a player that suits what we need, attacks the space very well, presses really well. So give him a chance. Let's see if he's good. If he's good enough, you got yourself a new player that you have to play anything for, that wants to play for the shirt, that has been raised to respect the coach, to play in the way that Barcelona play. These are all advantages of promoting players from within. They want to play for your shirt. They are going to respect the coach, that they have been raised in the things that Barcelona need, which is not only raise them as players but as human beings. Because the thing is that the reason why Guardiola was so capable of getting his idea through the players, because most of the players were from La Masia, were players that were going to respect the coach, that they were going to listen to everything that the coach had to say. So with all this said and done, leave me your opinions in the comment section below. What do you think about what I've said about the youngsters? Do you think that they need to be given more chances, or that we need to keep signing more players because you just don't trust that the youngsters will be able to come through? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one of Blaugranas.